Hi, good morning. I am comedian Haley Boyle and I am squinting a lot, even though it's not that sunny because I have very pale blue eyes and I am not equipped to be in any environment really outside of some sort of Irish misty hill in the shade and the rain. Switching up the format today, instead of talking about my mental health, we're going to talk about how to survive these weird times we're in with some measure of joy. Hi. Because let's face it, this time is my time to shine. I've been isolated out here since Thanksgiving. Trying to be a good mom, trying to keep things fun, trying to make this time productive. So I'm going to pass some tips on to you. We're going to start with some general poor people stuff that if you're American, you may just have never encountered a situation where you might not be able to get what you want, even if you have the money to buy it. But a lot of us have been poor, and so we're kind of good at this point. So if you're worried about running out of food, remember to eat your fresh foods first. Anything that might spoil, anything you normally end up throwing away because you ended up eating out and you just bought it to be healthy, eat it. Eat it. And if you don't eat it and it does go bad, keep it in your refrigerator. Don't put it in your garbage can, because if things get real dicey and you can't afford garbage pickup, you don't want your garbage to be horrible and stinky and attract terrible things. Why do I know this? Because we can't afford garbage pickup at the moment and we are living with a large pile of trash. And where is it? There it is. Now, if you notice, I didn't put it right next to the house because, again, we don't want to attract things that are unwanted to the house. Also, the next thing you want to do is eat things that are frozen in case you lose electricity, and save your dry goods, things that you find in the cabinet, for last. Also, it's a good idea to keep some buckets or jugs of water that isn't necessarily drinking water, so that if you do lose electricity or do lose water, you can wash hands, wash your body, wash dishes, be able to flush the toilet and things like that. So stockpile some water, not necessarily bottled water, but like fill up containers you have. Use your empty bottles, fill them up from the tap now, have them on hand just in case. Why do I know that? Well, I've lived without water on purpose and because I was poor, and currently we live in a crap shack and sometimes lose electricity and have to flush the toilet by filling that motherfucker up. So, get yourself some water, some non-potable, I don't know how you pronounce it, I've only seen it printed on signs at campsites. But that's the third tip. Try to treat this like camping. Think of it as an adventure, especially if, like me, you are isolated with a child or perhaps a whole litter of children, maybe even the jerk that knocked you up in the first place. Try to be nice to each other. Try to be silly. Find something fun to do. Don't worry about being cool. Don't worry about order. Don't worry about screen time. Let that shit go. And at least in the beginning, just have some fun. Now, if this ends up being a long-term thing, you want to try to find a way to make it productive. Maybe there's something you've been putting off dealing with, someone you haven't been grieving because you're like, God, I'd need 2 weeks off of work. Well, you got 2 weeks off work. So now's the time to dig in and get that shit done. Finish your book, work on your script, work on yourself, so that when you come out of this, you don't have nothing to show for it. Hey, cutie pie, go outside, play, dance. If you don't want to go to the gym, that's fine. Work out at home. Lift your kid. Get them involved. Benching the baby is one of our main attractions here at Shea Boyle. Do your squats. Do some sit-ups. Call your friends. Talk about the good times. Oh, and be considerate. If you are stuck with other people or whatever, I've had a lot of friends on Facebook post about how organized and prepared they are, and other friends talk about how they're just overwhelmed by the whole thing. Look, if you are an organizer and a planner and the people you are stuck with are freaking out, just maybe shut up or post about it on Facebook and be considerate of the fact that some people are not comforted by the fact that we even have to prepare. Just try to be considerate. Be nice. You really got to be nice to each other right now. People are freaking out. We always say, you know, everyone's struggling with something that you don't understand and be kind and blah, blah, blah. Well, now we know for a fact every single person on the planet is worried about something. The rich, the poor, the sick, the healthy, everybody. So seriously, guys, try to be nice. Oh, and feel free to send us some donations or some sun chips. They were out of everything at the store, and I don't know if I can do this without French onion sun chips, quite honestly. That's sort of been my go-to.